Hey there, everybody. This is Iman, that Philly wholesaler chick. And in today's interview, I have the pleasure, actually, of having Adora Sanya, who's a local wholesaler slash investor. Adora also is a buy and hold investor here, as well as a wholesaler here in the Philadelphia area. Excuse me. And Adora's been in this business since 2007. You were at Temple University, right, Adora, when you, I guess, pretty much got introduced to the business? Am I correct in
Right. So my story kind of transcends back to I came to Temple University my sophomore year as a film major. So I wanted to.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I wanted to be the next John Singleton, like the director of Boys in the Hood. Yeah. So that was my thing.
Right.
I wanted to be a film major, and I got to Philly. And during the course of my sophomore year here in Philadelphia, there's a lot of so I'm in the Temple University area, which is North Philly. So there's a lot of gentrification, a lot of redevelopment, a lot of building going on. The area was just kind of turning around, like right before my eyes. It's like 2006-ish. And, I had always been interested in real estate, just business in general. And kind of a turning point for me was 2006. My friend and I, we were looking for off-campus housing because what pretty much would push the whole Temple University wave was that Temple University kicks students off campus after their sophomore year.
Right.
So that presents, tons of opportunity for, off-campus housing. So it's just like this crazy swarm of investors and everything like that. So we're looking for off-campus housing, and one of the houses that we looked at was owned by this young guy, and he was like a little older than us. I think I'm like 19.
25, right? You're 25 now, correct?
Yeah. So I'm 25 now.
Right.
At that time, like 19 or maybe even 18, I'm not sure. And we see this young guy with his house, and I'm like, man, this guy's young, this guy looks like me, and he's like, he could potentially be our landlord. So I kind of started devising a plot to so my big idea at the time was, when you go to school, you got, financing where you can get federal financing, which goes, directly to your school, or you could get private bank financing that comes directly to your bank account.
Right.
So our big idea back then was to get these student loans that come directly to us, but not use them for school, and actually use them to buy houses in the Temple University area. And that didn't quite work out, but the real estate bug, if you will, kind of caught me, and I ended up dropping out of school after that year to just kind of pursue my real estate dreams. I didn't have any money or anything like that. I didn't come from a rich family or anything, but I just I wanted it. Started reading, started educating myself online, started meeting with folks here locally that were doing it. And, eventually 2007, at 20 years old, I was able to, purchase property in the Temple University area. And, that kind of started it.
Okay. Now, I didn't, at the beginning, at the outset of this interview, I didn't get an opportunity to, state why, Adora and I are doing this video interview. It's actually, it's a pretty unique opportunity, actually, as to why we're actually doing this video interview. Adora, much like myself, and I'm pretty sure those of you who are viewing this video, unfortunately, in this business, I know it's been my experience. I've purchased information products for lack of a better word, or home study courses. I've gone to workshops, seminars, spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on information that was supposed to move me from point A to point B. And, at the end of the day, I was still at point A. The only difference is that I spent a lot of money, okay? And it took me a long time. I mean, I got started in this business in 2004. That's a whole nother story. But it took me quite some time to find success. And Adora and I have had this conversation where, there's a great need for information to be made available to people, where you're not having to spend, hundreds and thousands of dollars to get information in this respect, wholesaling. You should be able to get that information. There's a big gap, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. My experience has been, I've gotten information, but there were gaps along the way. So Adora has, recognized that need in his business, and is going to be making available some free content that should be able, once you you sign up for this free information, you should be able to take this information that Adora has made available and be able to do a deal from this information. Am I correct in that? So I'm going to let Adora pretty much share about his iFlip Academy. So if you will, Adora, just give us some background.
So pretty much what it is, kind of what you alluded to is, so it's a couple things. There's absolutely no problem with, the selling of information. Information is like the most valuable commodity ever. And especially where you have something like real estate investing, people want to find out, how do I get involved? What steps do I need to take? So on and so on. And it's always usually anchored by some kind of pain, whether it's, I want to quit my job, I want to spend more time with my kids, I want to do this, I want to do that. So that's what's pushing you to want to learn more about this real estate thing. I don't really think anybody has like a super, super love for bricks and grass and mold or anything like that in these houses. It's a reason. Like we're all trying to reach our financial and lifestyle goals, and our real estate is one of the ways that we use to do that. But the problem is, you have a lot of guys out here that have recognized that want and that ambition of a lot of people. And your ambition is so great to want to do this that once you're looking for information, a lot of people are blinded by push button solutions, people kind of oversimplifying the process. Especially with the advent of like Facebook and all these things now, where we've had the conversation, you talk to people, I talk to people, where I'll talk to somebody that has spent like several $1,000s on this solution that was supposed to like just make them boatloads of money or just solve all of their real estate solutions. So now in that case, the user is at fault, because you should know nothing there's no push button solution to this. So I feel in real estate education, there's been a lot of miseducation in the first part of like, giving people the perception that you can start this business today and drive a Ferrari tomorrow. It's totally not true. Right. So a lot of people start off already doomed, because they've been told that they can do this in the next 30 days. So they start off with this timeline of, I'm just going to do this little bit of stuff, because Guru X already told me, it's this easy, and I'm just going to do 1%, and I'm going to reap this great big reward. And when that doesn't happen, they're like, oh man, this stuff doesn't work. Where the reality is it absolutely works. Like, I'm a prime example of, I'm 25 and I've been unemployed for the past 4 years. So it definitely works. So my thing with iFlip Academy is kind of condensing all the moving pieces and the variables of real estate. How do I talk to sellers? How do I market? Who should I be marketing to? Do I build this buyer's list? Because I keep hearing about this buyer's listing. What do I do now? And there are a lot of moving pieces. So what I've done is kind of condense that all into one framework, which is ultimately finding, evaluating, and purchasing. And how do you actually build a 6-figure real estate business? From regardless of wherever you're at, but looking at it as an actual business. I feel a lot of people, even just you talk to people online, and they're not looking at this as a business. They're looking at it as kind of, I want to get this quick check. I want to get this quick buck, which is fine. But for example, if you're going to open up a Starbucks, you're going to have to figure out location, is this location feasible? What kind of people am I targeting? And all these scientific things that kind of ensure your success to make sure you should even do it. I feel like with real estate, it's just a lot of people that, I want to make money, and somebody told me this is a quick way to do it. So my whole thing is kind of, challenging that and actually being able to show people, here's how you build a business out of this thing. So it's not even just wholesaling, but here's the core. And this core will allow you to, whether you want to wholesale, whether you want to rehab, whether you want to do buy and hold stuff, it's still all the same core. So what I did is I created a free, it's a 15, 16 part video series, going through the whole framework of finding, which is ultimately, how do you get the phone to ring, which is where it all starts at. Then evaluating, now that your phone's ringing, how do you talk to these folks that are calling you? What kind of information do you need to extract from them? And then the biggest thing where most people fail, how do you figure out what their property is worth? How can you buy something if you don't know what it's worth? And then value in terms of different sets of values. Retail value, your as-is value, your, maybe you're totally in the war zone, so there isn't really no value, so you just got to figure out what somebody else is willing to pay for it and come in way under where they want to be at. So all of these things, all of these pieces, I feel like in the past or in the present, people just gloss over them. That's why, I'll talk to somebody that's paid friggin' 15 grand for somebody's coaching program, but they're still asking me, how do you find a buyer for this? And I'm like, hold on, you paid 15 grand and you can't you should be teaching me. And these are big name coaching programs, and it's they're just glossing over. So my thing is know the actual process from A to Z. How do you make a business out of this stuff?
Which I think is an excellent point, because I'm, as I'm sitting here listening to you talk, I'm, reflecting on my own experience. And I'm sure, as I said, earlier, that, there's probably plenty of people who are watching this video who probably, can identify with that whole thing. It's almost like one hand clapping. I mean, you know what I mean? You get this information. I mean, my experience has been that a lot of times, a lot of the information that I have purchased in the past, a lot of people will tell you what to do, but not how to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And which, for those who are watching this, I had the opportunity to go through every single video module that Adora will be making available to everybody, and it's great excellent content. And like I said at the outset, you should be able to take this information and do this thing, do this business. So he fills in, like I said, a lot of the gaps that unfortunately some folks who teach this business they don't they kind of I'm trying to think of how to put this, but they kind of do us an injustice because just like I said, that was my experience. I was stuck. I couldn't get anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And I think unfortunately sometimes as you said too, there's nothing wrong with placing a monetary value on your content. I mean,
no, absolutely not.
However,
I think the problem is when that content is completely garbage.
Right. Absolutely. So, like I said, you recognize the need to be able to fill that gap for a whole lot of people. So, I mean, what else can people expect with because how's this thing set up, Adora? Is it going to be a membership site? Is it going to be how?
There is a membership site component where people can sign up for where they're getting just so how I broke everything down is, and I realize this, where sometimes you meet guys or online or gurus and stuff like that. They kind of talk as if they came out of the womb flipping houses and stuff,
right.
And like. And I never really understood that, because here's the reality. Everybody at some point, whether it's me, somebody that's done tons of deals out here, or whether it's somebody that's never done any deals, everybody had the figuring it out phase of their business. So it's always interesting for me to see somebody kind of talk like they have a monopoly on, how to do all this stuff. So how I broke down everything when I was first getting started, I was trying to figure out, I would hear about guys doing deals, like doing home run deals and all this stuff. And I'm like, how are they doing this stuff? Like, what kind of magic ball are they looking in? Like, how does this work? Until and nobody at the time would really share with me like their trade secrets and stuff like that. So I had to go out and figure it out for myself. And that was just like a trial by error thing. Like, start looking at houses, start driving around like neighborhoods that I totally was not familiar with, because I wasn't even the market in which I was investing in, Philadelphia. I'm not even from here. Right. So it was like extra difficulty for me, where I just started like driving around South Philly, driving around all these different parts of the city, trying to figure it out. So for me, like, I have a special place in my heart for the newbie trying to figure it out investor, where it's like I was just there. Like, I feel like I can still remember like days where like I spent my 21st birthday in Philadelphia hanging up bandit signs. Like, I put up like 100 or 150 signs all in one day. Wow. And I thought my phone was going to ring off the hook, and I didn't get not one phone call. And I still don't know why, but those are the things, like, when you're a newbie and you do this, and at that time, like, it was a big, like, bandit signs were like big. Everybody's like, yo, just put out these signs and your phone is going to go crazy. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this on my birthday, 21st birthday at that. And it didn't work out like I wanted it to. So my whole approach now is kind of setting everything up in terms of content and information based on the questions that I had at that time. The questions of it took me super long to find out, like, you know, how do I get a hold of, like, MLS access until, like, I figured it out? Or how do I know what list to mail to? You know, how do I figure out what to say to these sellers, contracts and stuff like that? So now me looking backwards is kind of setting everything up step by step in a way where it's kind of over delivering on content for the newbies. So just in my free videos, as you've seen, like, I break down, you know, the concept of, you know, the first part of the framework, which is find, which is getting the phone to ring. So, like I said, that's where it all starts. But going further than that is, who am I targeting? Like, what kind of lead types are there, where you have a lot of people that'll just, you know, kind of gloss over it, you know, say, all right, just mail a postcard or, you know, put out these signs. You know, my thing is, you know, here's probate and here's how we do probate. Here's why I do probate. And, like, just probate investing alone, like, I've done 6-figure deals off of probate. So breaking down, like, systematically, you know, how this deal came about, why this person sold it to me, why they felt comfortable with doing the deal with me, how I evaluated the deal, and just basically A to Z, where you have a lot of people, like, I see now, like, the thing is, like, you know, kind of posting checks and stuff like that, where my thing is more so, if I tell you about a deal, it'll be to tell you, I could show you a $40,000 check, but if I don't tell you how it worked from A to Z, and that check doesn't say your name on it, it's not beneficial to you at all. And that's just my opinion. So my thing is kind of stringing you along from A to Z and using these systems. Like, a lot of people, you know, kind of work super hard at this business, and they don't need to be. So it's just laying everything out and letting people leverage my success in the business, but more than that, my failures. And that's like the biggest part of, you know, what mentoring, coaching, all of this stuff is being able to say, look, don't do this because that's going to happen. Or me being able to say to a newbie rehabber, here's why, you know, if a contractor says this rehab is going to be $40,000, here's why you don't pay $20,000 up front. Where, you know, if you didn't know any better, it would make total sense for you to say, okay, well, I'll pay half up front, and then the contractor takes that money and you never hear from them again, but you still have to finish that job. So in terms of the whole site, that's what it's about. There is an option to kind of go further, do a one-on-one coaching kind of thing. There's the option to do the membership site. There's the option to just get the free videos and just take that from there, because that, like, I've been showing the videos or my training series to folks like yourself, people that know the business, like, throughout the country, that, you know, people are excited about it. People like the content. And I think it's something of value, and it's free. And it's like, there's no upsell. Like, it's up to you if you choose to go any further. But at the very least, grab the videos and make it happen.
Absolutely. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because I remember, you know, after, you know, I came to you and, you know, gave you my feedback about, you know, the videos, and you told me what your plan was, because I didn't know that. For those who were watching this, I did not know that at the beginning. So when he told me that after, you know, I went through every single video. Okay, and how many is it again, Adora? It's been a minute since 16?
I think it's like 15, 16.
And 15 video modules. And I'm going to tell you right now, I mean, I'm not just saying this because, Dora and I are doing this video interview. I was really blown away because the reason why is because of the type of content that's contained in those video modules. And for him to then tell me, well, guess what? It's all going to be free. I'm giving it away. And I was really, truly blown away. And I need to say also, too, that, for those who do know me, who may be watching this, you could probably go to my YouTube channel, and it's, I don't know, maybe 2, maybe 3, I can't remember. I don't just recommend products or content or information just for the sake of recommending it. I like to purchase the product, and if I find that it's of tremendous value to people, then I will recommend it. So, feel safe and secure in knowing that what we're talking about, if you choose to take Adora up on, his opportunity, which I really hope you do, because, at the very least it's free. So, you know what I'm saying? Right, it's free, but he definitely over-delivers. So I don't just recommend products lightly. So I stand behind the information and the content that he's going to be making available 100%. So, and that's just, you don't have to worry about, if this is going to be garbage or not. Now, this is up and running. So, for those who are watching this now, Adora, they would be able to go somewhere to access these videos?
Yes, so they just have to go to www.iflipacademy.com. That's iflipacademy.com. And there's a form where you put your name and email address, and you automatically start getting the videos. And just my disclaimer, it's a lot of stuff going on right now with, you opting into people's email list and that they selling you like every day. That's like totally not my thing. My full-time business is real estate investing, is doing deals. So I wouldn't ever be emailing anybody talking about, buy this software because my friend is releasing it or something like that.
But you would recommend products, like I said,
right,
would be of value to people.
Exactly. And it'll be kind of just exactly like you said. If I recommended something, it would be something that it would be like me saying, use this iPhone because I use it personally and have no worries kind of thing. So like I said, at the very least, it's free. And showing it to people around the country, is very good response. I have some folks that have opted in cause it's interesting cause, this is real estate. So it's like a money making niche, but I literally get emails almost daily from people that have just seen like YouTube videos or have actually opted into the site, thanking me. And that's like crazy for me because I wouldn't think anybody would send me like a lengthy page long email thanking me for the content. But like we said earlier, it's been a crazy problem with real estate education where most people have just stopped delivering or just never started because they realize that people, when you're trying to figure it out, and you probably remember this, like you want it so bad that you're kind of vulnerable.
Right.
And that vulnerability just kind of forces you to look past really anything that's logical because you want it so bad. So if somebody's in front of you saying, look, this system is gonna, solve all your problems, you're not logically thinking. Like I've been at a big name seminar, and I won't say the name, where they came to Philadelphia and they told people that they were going to teach people here in Philadelphia how to flip houses in 3 days. And people went wild for that because it's a push button solution. But here's the thing. I'm in the back of the room thinking, how can you teach people to flip houses in 3 days in a city where it sometimes takes 2 weeks to get title back?
Right.
So it's just, if you think about it logically, it doesn't make sense. But when you want something so bad and you're just thinking about, man, I can't wait to, maybe do a deal so I can tell my boss to kick rocks, then you might not be thinking so logically. And basically what I'm doing is kind of pushing against that whole paradigm of selling of useless information. So yeah.
Right. You're absolutely right. And that just you saying just there, I mean, you and I both know sometimes it takes 2 weeks. How does he know that? Because he does his business. So this is not just somebody, I know Dora doesn't consider himself a guru. He's just somebody who has who is passionate about this business and just wanting to be able to reach back and help other people, number one. And two, because, again, we know how the game is played. You go to enough of these things. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are workshops and seminars that I have been to where you can tell that the primary concern of that person is to help you, advance and get better at your craft, so to speak. So, and I just want to say this, just kind of restate this again. I can guarantee you, if you do, if you take advantage of, the opportunity that Adora is making available to you, if you go through those video modules, and you take action on the things that he suggests that you do, because there is action that you got to take. It's not, this is not going to happen through osmosis.
Always action.
Always action, exactly. Action and consistency. You got to take consistent action. You will get a deal. Not just one deal, but, if this is if you've never done a deal and you're now being exposed to the content that he's making available, you'll get a deal done. So, but, you gotta go to iflipacademy.com, and, enter your name and your email address there. And like Adora said, you'll immediately, start receiving the video module. And like I said, at the very least, you can get a deal done. Now, if you need, some extra help, which is where coaching comes in, mentoring comes in. It's, the thing about that is that, the value of that is that it's when you get stuck, the stuff that happens in between contracting a deal and getting it to the closing table. So anyway, but, and before I wrap up, Adora, also has another, site here. It's, phillyprobateleads.com, Adora? Is that the site?
Yeah, it's phillyprobateleads.com. Like I said earlier, I'm a big fan of probate investing. And here in Philadelphia, it's a very pay-to-play city, if you will. So it costs $3 per lead to look at probate files downtown at City Hall. So when I started compiling the probate list in 2010, and I started going in there, and this is kind of a testament to what it really takes to do this business. So I start compiling these leads. I tried every angle to get around having to pay for them. And it was just one day where I'm like, I know people in other markets are swinging and hitting home runs with the probate stuff. And two, I know that everybody in this market is not going to be paying $3 per lead. So I just said, all right, man, I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to start compiling this list. I personally started going there. I went like Friday of every week, and literally my bill there. So you figure $3 per file, and on a given month, I'd be pulling like 500 or more files. So my bill with them would be like $1,500+ a month. And I didn't do a deal right away. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting hit hard in my pocket, but I'm still coming down there, getting the list, putting them in a database, contacting the folks. And it took me like 3-4 months until my first actual deal. And that first deal was like $60,000. Awesome. So that says a lot to just kind of what we were just saying. Action, massive action, continuing to swing out here. Cause what most people, and it's funny, I've talked to people here locally that kind of tried to pull the list and they went at it for like maybe a month or two, then they just stopped going. And I talked to people that like, that stuff was too hard, it was too much money, blah, blah, blah. And it just speaks to ultimately how bad do you want it in this business? So now I'm to the point where I started doing so much probate that I said, hey, I might as well start selling the list. And that's what phillyprobateleads.com is about. The site is actually down right now. But if there's anybody that's interested in the list, that's here local or, I don't know, doing some virtual stuff, you can definitely contact me via Facebook or something like that. And the list is not a pimped out list because, like I said, I still use it myself. So I go back and forth on actually providing it because it's like other subscribers that do deals off the list. Like I said, I've popped 6-figure deal. I actually did a 6-figure deal last summer. That was just on the general list. Like I don't cherry pick it all. Mm-hmm. So like anybody that got the list, could have potentially done that deal, which is kind of scary now that I think about it. But yeah, that's the site. And that's it.
Well, and I can also add too, I personally haven't used, Adora's, I'm not a subscriber to that site, but I will be. But, I actually had an opportunity. We were at a networking event and, he showed me, a lot of times you'll get the lead. I've had an experience, and I won't name the site either, who I was subscribing to a site, and the understanding was that you would get the administrator's name, the person's name, phone number, and address. You need that at the very least because you can't mail to the decedent.
Right. Right.
And that's actually what I was left with. I wasn't even given an administrator name, executor, wherever, depending on where you are, you can use those terms interchangeably. And then, when you can get the attorney's name, that's always a bonus. And Adora showed me, right then and there, all that information. So, it is what it is. And you're getting some information that you can really use to, to be able to contact these people and then, hopefully, contract a deal, with the leads that you got. So it's no, smoke and mirrors type situation. So
no phony baloney.
Exactly. So, I was actually a little hesitant to share that site name. You know what I'm saying? But, as they say, competition is healthy, so. Because we all wind up at some point or another working with one another anyway, so. It's more than enough to go around. But again, I thank you, Adora, for coming on. I really, like, what it is that you're doing, what you're offering, the wholesaling community, the real estate investing community, by offering these free videos, and the other service that you provide for us as well. So again, please check out iflipacademy.com. Again, like I said, if nothing else, hey, they're free videos, but I guarantee you, when you watch them, you will be blown away. And if you don't pick up only anything but maybe one thing that you just weren't aware of, it's definitely worth it, and you didn't have to pay for it. So. And then there's also phillyprobateleads.com. Is there anything else you want to add, Adora, before we wrap this up? Or is that it?
That's pretty much it.
Pretty much it. So yeah, you can connect with Adora on Facebook too. So Adora Sonia, you see his name up here, and you know what I mean. Friend him up.
Oh wow, my name is up there. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, his name is up here on the screen. So a good guy. All right, so that's it, folks. Real Estate Wholesaling Explained is a site. You can go there to get other great interviews or here on YouTube as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.